The computer mouse is a peripheral that seems to have been around forever. If you have ever touched a computer, you have probably used one. But why the heck is it called a mouse? The computer mouse was inspired by early trackball devices. Doug Engelbart created the first prototype in 1964. The first computer mouse used wheels that faced opposite directions to track movement. They are housed inside of a wood box with a single button on the top. The combined movement of the wheels was tracked by the computer and it moved the cursor on the display accordingly. A few years later, in 1968, Engelbart gave the first live demonstration of the computer mouse. By this time, the design was much more polished and it featured 3 buttons. It wasn't until 1982 that the world saw the first optical mouse that required a mousepad for tracking. Apple's first commercial mouse was released with the Lisa in 1983. Microsoft shipped an IBM mouse that same year.
Sadly, the history of the mouse is much more interesting than the name itself. The earliest known written usage of the term was in 1965 by Bill English, who helped design a mouse for Xerox PARC. No one knows for sure why it was called a mouse, but it very likely has to do with its resemblance to the animal. The general shape and size and the tail-like core is similar to a real mouse.
That's it. Engelbart himself said, "I don't know why we call it a mouse," way back in 1968 as we mentioned above.
Not all origin stories are interesting. It's called a mouse because it's kinda look like a mouse. They have advanced a lot over the years, but they will always be mice. Just don't try to feed it any cheese.